So let's say you're cigar curious. Your grandfather used to smoke them, or you've seen a character in a film or TV show make them look interesting, or there's the cigar smokers at your job or in your social circle that you want to get to know more. Whatever your reason, you're looking to dive into the world of cigars. But you go to a shop, either a brick and mortar or online, and you're overwhelmed by the number of choices. And that makes sense because there are so many options, the different brands, the different color wrappers, the different sizes and shapes. Like making a decision on this is difficult when you don't know what you're looking for. And to be honest, unless you've got it like that, you're not going to be looking to spend a bunch of money on something you don't even know if you like yet. So generally what's going to happen with this level of novice is they're going to go looking for support and guidance, either from the tobacconist in the store or some online like beginner's guide to cigars. And they're going to get suggestions. And in my experience, the novice typically gets guided toward a Connecticut shade. And for those not familiar with the terminology, these are sort of your lighter colored cigars, but that shouldn't be confused with their strength level, though they do tend to be milder. And it's going to be something from a more inexpensive brand. And look, that's one way to go. Like the logic is sound, not spending too much money, not blowing your palate out with something aggressive or bold right out the gate. Is they're easing yourself in. And I was guided this way at the start of my cigar journey, like the real start, where I became a daily smoker. Like I had cigars before, but they were an infrequent indulgence for years before I started to actually learn about them. And when I did, the tobacconist loaded me up with Connecticut Shade cigars, none of which cost more than around like $7. Now, I came in already knowing that I wanted to smoke cigars. I already enjoyed the experience, even though I didn't have any knowledge of what I was smoking. But I think if those budget Connecticut's had been my true introduction, I may not have fallen for cigars the way that I have. Like light Connecticut wrappers, mild strength, that's not really my wheelhouse. Um, it wasn't until I jumped ahead several steps in the typical cigar discovery process and smoked a Maduro or dark wrapper from Padron that I had my like aha moment. Look, we each have our different palates and different flavor profiles that appeal to us. And the great thing about cigars is that there's enough flavor variation that you should be able to find something that will hit your sweet spot. But you have to take stock of what appeals to your palate first before you jump in. To me, the best, quickest, easiest route to determine your cigar match is through your coffee preference. For one, I think they're a perfect pairing, as I've said, but also they align in the myriad ways they can be prepared and how personal they become. So, say you're an espresso or Americano drinker, something with a concentrated, aggressive, bold, some might even say harsh flavor profile, you're almost certainly not going to be placed among the light wrapper route. You might find you tend toward something like Connecticut broadleaf, Mexican San Andres, your darker oscuro wrappers. Heavy, dark, leaning into those espresso, oak, dark chocolate notes. Or maybe you like a latte or a cappuccino or cafe au lait or flat white. You still desire some good coffee flavor coming through, but with some creaminess added, some light sweetness. You might be more interested in something like a Habano or Ecuadorian Connecticut. Like we could go on and on. Like maybe you're a Frappuccino person, and maybe you do need a sweetened tip or flavored cigar. Totally valid. But the idea is there. You want to match your existing flavor profile and preferences to the thing you're looking to discover. And maybe you're not a coffee drinker. Like for me, I say it's easy to start there because it's the most popular drink in the world, but not everyone drinks it. You can go toward other things. Are you a wine person? Are you into bold reds like Barolo or Cabernet Franc? You gravitate more toward lighter body, more fruity whites, or your taste in food more generally. You like earthy and herbaceous, like you might like Honduran leaves. Are you into spicy food? Dominican tobacco, maybe more your speed, perhaps with the Corojo wrapper. Are you more into baking spices and sweetness? You might find what you're looking for in like a Nicaraguan or Cuban. Obviously, if you're in the US, getting Cubans is more tricky, but we're talking about player profiles for right now. None of these rules are hard and fast, but they can give you some general guidelines on what to look for. And while you're looking for that, you can discover some other things along the way. You could discover that your true jam is Nicaraguan fillers with a Habano Rosado wrapper. That sounds great to me. And if you're like me, you can come back to the stuff that didn't really speak to you initially and start to find an appreciation once you understand your palate better. The other part of this, as mentioned, is price. Again, most people are going to guide you into the realm of budget cigars to start out. So make sure you don't blow too much money on something you're not sure you like at the outset. Thing is, the old adage of getting what you pay for does apply. And if you get something in that budget realm, it has all kinds of issues like it doesn't burn properly, the draw is too tight, it cracks. The experience of that will turn you off even if you found the exact profile you're looking for. And more often than not, the budget cigars are going to have that harsher, younger tobacco taste to them because they've been cured and fermented in order to ship them out quicker rather than allow them time to develop more flavors and meld together. All that said, I wouldn't go ultra premium for the beginning of your cigar journey either. It's like there's no need to grab a $20 or $30 cigar just to ensure that it's good. There's plenty in the rung below that's going to deliver on flavor and construction. And I think then after you smoked really good cigars, you can go back to the budget realm and appreciate them for what they are. Once you know what you're looking for, you can see why things fall where they fall. Now, this is perhaps a non intuitive guide to starting your cigar journey or not the sort of prescribed guide. But I think if your goal is to actually enjoy cigars and make them a part of your life, smoking the good stuff that matches your existing palate preferences from the outset is going to set you up better to make that happen than following a preset trajectory.